Some celebrities are worth listening to, and they've been given the right places to do that in, but for the most part, they should just keep their comments to themselves. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 celebrity talk shows that failed miserably. Number 10, Khloe Kardashian. The Kardashian clan have tried many tactics over the years to increase their never-ending flow of cash. Well, big sister Khloe decided that she wanted to do something outside of keeping up with the Kardashians while still being her real and authentic self. So an online media outlet called FYI greenlit a talk series starring Khloe and her celebrity guests indulging in adult beverages while being interviewed and called it Cocktails with Khloe. But it's with a K because they're Kardashians, get it? She essentially created an environment where she could be paid to drink all day and chat with her friends, which is exactly what the show became. Unable to secure A-list celebrities, she forced her family to appear on the show along with several of her reality star friends, and some of her sisters even forced their friends to appear on the show, like Snoop Dogg and Chrissy Teigen. Khloe acted as the producer of the series and would regularly clash with basically everybody on staff about what direction the show should go in and how things should be done. The drama combined with the behavior of Khloe behind the scenes caused them to cancel the show, releasing only 14 episodes of their planned 23. Number 9, Nick Cannon. Nick has been the energetic, lovable host of several game shows and series over the years, bringing a sense of joy to every room he was in. So it only made sense that Nick would be given a chance to host his own talk show in 2022. The Nick Cannon Show was brought to air and featured a fun mix of music, comedy, sketch, game, and celebrity interviews. Unfortunately, once Nick was given his own platform rather than a hosting gig, people were not receptive. The show wasn't bad per se, but compared to the energy that the world was used to from Nick, it was underwhelming to say the least. He followed the talk show beats step by step, and despite trying to spice things up a little bit with music and skits, the show just failed to capture the right audience. It was taken off the air after only one season, and he now spends his days trying to remember which of his 12 kids is which. Like a little family game of guess who. Number 8, Lilly Singh. Lilly got her start on YouTube in 2010, but quickly became a very successful woman both in film and on television, being casted in projects like Bad Moms, Ice Age, and Dr. Cabby. In 2019, Lilly was offered the chance to host her own late-night talk show, A Little Late with Lilly Singh. The show was meant to be a follow-up to the popular show Last Call with Carson Daly, with Chrissy Teigen being offered the job at first, but she turned down NBC and they then offered the job to Lilly. The moment the show premiered, things started going downhill fast. While fans of Lilly were tuning in and loving it, anyone else on the planet was just annoyed, confused, and a little bit angry. The first episode has been summarized by thousands of reviews, this is not just me, as white men bad, Lilly is bi, end of show. That's it. Her show received massive amounts of hate, quickly garnering a 1-star review out of 10 on IMDb. That's something I have literally never seen while researching a topic. The hate continued towards Lilly for 2 more seasons before she announced the show was being cancelled by NBC. She simultaneously announced that there was a deal with Netflix setting her up to star in a new show. Lesson learned there, no matter how controversial you are, there's always room for you at the old flicks. Number 7, Kris Jenner. Simply titled Kris, the momager of the Kardashian clan starred in a 6-week test run of her talk show. Not only did it receive terrible reviews, but it was cancelled before it was even picked up. Frank Kitcha, senior VP and president of programming at Fox's television studios, admitted he knew by the time the test ended that the show was not going to work. He claimed that Kris was uninteresting and that she was trying to capitalize on her name and not her ability to entertain. When the cameras were on, she looked like a deer in headlights. She had trouble reading the prompters, and the conversations that she would have with her guests just kind of felt like she was trying to take a survey or something. Where are you from? What's your hobby? Which one of these pictures is not a sailboat? He praised her hard work, but ultimately the project was a flop from the start. In fact, the studio later received hate mail aimed towards Kris, claiming her show would have been one of the worst Kardashian moves ever made. Number 6, TJ Miller. Before being accused of misconduct by several women and having his career cancelled entirely, Miller was on a hot streak starring in Silicon Valley and the Deadpool franchise. In 2017, he was given a green light to host an 8-episode talk series called The Gore Burger Show. But unlike normal talk shows, this was meant to act as both a talk show and a straight-up TV series. Miller voiced a massive blue puppet monster named Gorburger. The alien takes a Japanese talk show hostage, and he learns what it means to be a true human Schumann from various celebrity guests, including Tig Notaro, Larry King, Rob Corddry, and Reggie Watts. The show was created after the success of the short sketch series of the same name on the Funny or Die YouTube channel, which is also responsible for the Weird Al Yankovic movie, so thank you for that. In fact, it ran for 2 seasons on YouTube before being picked up for primetime television. The concept was neat and had clearly been working online. However, the show was cancelled after only 8 episodes due to the lack of star power that they were able to land on the show. However, some say that the show was cancelled due to the allegations that were brought up against Miller, as the cancellation announcement was only like 1 week after the news began making headlines. Whether it was the controversy or the lack of celebrities, this is one talk show that may return with a new voice behind the monster. Number 5. Sarah Silverman. Sarah is a popular stand-up comedian, but these days she's out on the picket lines of the SAG strike with her fellow performers. A few years ago though, she was sitting cozy on the set of her own talk show called I Love You America. The show was aimed to give Sarah an outlet to poke fun at the current political and emotional landscape of the country. She would also, from time to time, bring on various celebrity guests to discuss their pasts and share stories. There was a lot going on for Sarah, whether it was connecting with firemen in Texas over making accidents in their pants, to going on blind dates with a conservative lobbyist in DC. She was never holding back. The show was actually pretty well received among Sarah's fans, but the executives over at Hulu did not appreciate the content. Apparently, big budget studios don't like it when you get political on shows. I don't know, weirdos. The show only lasted 1 season spanning 21 episodes, and it was nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Variety Sketch Series in 2018 before its ultimate demise. Number 4. Zach Galifianakis. As many may know, Hangover star Zach Galifianakis has been hosting a pretty popular talk show online for a few years called Between Two Ferns. It's short interview segments where he tends to berate the person that he's interviewing, but the goal is to make the interview as uncomfortable as possible on both ends, so the A-listers tend to give some pretty solid roasts and off-the-cuff responses. Before hosting this popular series though, Zach was meant to host another show called Late World with Zach. It was literally just a clone of the already existing late night shows at the time, just with Zach's strange style of comedy being the only unique thing that the show had going for it. He would do skits and go on to red carpet interviews, but the show only aired for 9 weeks before being pulled off the air due to poor ratings. At the time, the studio blamed Zach, but as history has proven, Zach was not the problem with this program. He's a hilarious man that decided to make a name for himself, hosting the now famous talk show Between Two Ferns online before getting a Between Two Ferns movie just a few years ago. Boom! Top that, Jimmy Fallon! Number 3. George Lopez. George Lopez was once one of the most bankable men around. His comedic talents and eccentric personality made him instantly entertaining, so much so that he was given his own sitcom in the 90s, but we're here to talk about his talk show, Lopez Tonight. The show first aired in November 2009 on TBS, and it actually didn't feature all that many celebrity guests. It mainly relied on audience interactions and George's wild energy. He did have some guests appear from time to time though, with Kobe Bryant and Ellen DeGeneres being the most notable. Unfortunately, around the end of 2010, there was a massive feud between The Tonight Show and Conan O'Brien that caused him to quit the series and sign on with TBS to make his own show. But this meant that Lopez would be pushed from a primetime 11 p.m. slot to the less exciting midnight spot. This move caused a steep decline in ratings, and as of August 2011, they decided to cancel the show entirely. The short-lived show will be remembered as a good time, as the decline only came from the time change. The show itself was very well received, and we would not be upset if a revival was ever in the works. George, you watching? You listening? Do it. Number 2. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada and her husband Will have made headlines in the news several times over the years. It's usually for something pretty bad like infidelity or, face smacking. But earlier this year, it was announced that her Facebook talk show Red Table Talk was going to be cancelled following several years online. The decision was made following the distribution company's shift to no longer produce independent content. Despite having a pretty solid slew of guests, the topics tended to drift into the too much information territory, with her sit down with her husband Will Smith being one of the more revealing episodes. The show featured Jada, her mother Adrienne Banfield Norris, and her daughter Willow Smith discussing various topics, with mom Jada being the main host when it came time to the more heavy one-on-ones. Jada herself has been shaded in controversy over the past few years, as more infidelity rumors seem to be brought up more and more and more. Oh, my phone's buzzing. Oh, look, it's an infidelity rumor. Her show was taken off of the internet, and despite trying to find a new home somewhere else, it's looking like the show is never gonna see the light of day again. And at number 1, 1. Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah has a long history in the world of film and television, getting her big break in the film Jungle Fever before starring in a massive slew of successful TV shows and big blockbuster projects like Hairspray and Chicago. In 2014, Sony Pictures Television greenlit a revival of a talk show that Queen Latifah had already attempted in the early 2000s. Now feeling that her name was big enough to pull in viewers, a daytime talk show was developed. The show acted as more of an Oprah-style series rather than a desk-in-chair like most late-night shows. The interviews varied from celebrity guests to political figures to musicians. One segment of the show even saw her doing outreach in various communities across the United States. Unfortunately, the show only lasted for 2 seasons before being cancelled due to low ratings. Despite the cancellation, Latifah was very positive about the whole situation, thanking anyone and everyone who came on the show to make her day, and everyone else is just a little bit brighter. Who knows, maybe in a few more years they will revive this show again. Third time's the charm. Those are the celebrity talk shows that failed hard. Which ones did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. As always, leave a like if you had a good time, and please keep coming back every day for more celebrity content. Thanks for stopping beyond the screen, and we'll see you next time.